Over the years, the Tournament of Champions has been the PBA bowler's chance to beat the best. Ryan Shafer got his invite by winning the Orleans Casino Open last year. Patrick Healey Jr. broke through for his first career win earlier this season in Kansas City. Now he looks to bag his first major. Robert Smith gained entry to the Tournament of Champions by winning the Japan Cup at the start of this season. He looks for his second career major today. And the lefty, Jason Couch, the two-time defending champion of the TOC. A win at the Villages last season gives him a chance to be the first player ever to win 3 straight Tournament of Champions. Who will be the next major winner? We find out next.
Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. ESPN proudly presents live coverage of the first major of this PBA season, the Tournament of Champions. We have 4 finalists today, all competing for the $100,000 first place prize and double tour points. First from Elmira, New York, ranked 10th in the PBA World Rankings, the 1987 Rookie of the Year with 3 career wins, Ryan Shafer. He has won his first career title this season in Kansas City. He is appearing in his 3rd telecast of the year from Mexico City, Mexico, Patrick Healey Jr. From Simi Valley, California, with 4 career titles, including a win at the 2000 U.S. Open, making his 2nd TV appearance of the season, Robert Smith. He has 9 career titles, the 2-time defending champion of this event. Today, he looks to become the first bowler to win 3 consecutive TOC championships from Claremont, Florida, Jason Couch. Those are the 4 finalists for the TOC. We are moments away from the first major of the year. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Connecticut. So glad you could join us for the Tournament of Champions. We have a chance to see history unfold today. The first time ever someone can win 3 straight TOC titles. Jason Couch can do that. We started with 32 of the world's best. We're down to 4. Our own Randy Peterson, 1 of the 32. You know the pressure the bowlers are facing, Randy. You've won a major championship back in '87.
Yeah, I think that when you talk about major championships, there's a couple of things that come to mind. Number 1, the pressure of the field. It's the strongest field you'll ever compete against in bowling. Number 2, lane conditions. Tough, demanding, you got to make good shots. And then you throw in this venue. Probably the most perfect setting for our most prestigious event ever.
Randy, look at the matchups. Keep in mind, folks, no wild card match today. We're down to the final 4 of the world's best bowlers. Ryan Shafer and Patrick Healey Jr. have met once on TV. Shafer took that one. Robert Smith defeated Jason Couch at the Empire State Open last year in the championship match. Their rematch takes place here this afternoon. And Randy, more history to talk about. The PBA has never oiled lanes to 50 feet before now. You've competed, you know how tough it is.
Wow. All I can say is hope and throw it, hope and pray. 50 feet of oil. Remember, the lane's only 60 feet long. When there's no help left or right with friction, you got to rely on back end. The problem was there was no back end. Anyway, the players are going to be playing towards the second arrow on both the left and right side and migrating towards the center of the lane. Better make a good shot or pay the piper.
Ryan Shafer tries to go 2-0 head-to-head with Patrick Healey Jr. when we return. These 2 bowlers start their quest for a first ever major championship. It's live coverage of the TOC on ESPN. Elmira, New York native Ryan Shafer head-to-head with Patrick Healey Jr. from Mexico. The Mohegan Sun Arena is jam-packed today. It's hosted many world-class events. Another one here this afternoon, live coverage of the TOC here on ESPN. In the round of 16, Ryan Shafer went up against Chris Barnes. Shafer would beat Barnes in 4 games and move on to the round of 8. That's where he met Parker Bone III, the MVP of the tour last year. He swept Parker right out of the round of 8 and advanced on to the finals. Patrick Healey Jr. started out the round of 16 against the Flying Finn Mika Koivuniemi.
The two of them also went 4 games, with Healey advancing, then a 5-game match with the legend Norm Duke. Won a couple of weeks ago on Long Island to earn a berth to the TOC. Patrick Healey won after being down 2 games to none with a big rally. Patrick is now joined by our Leslie Goodell.
Patrick Healey's first PBA telecast was in 1995. He was an amateur then. It was at this very same tournament, and he finished 3rd. It's been 7 years, but he is back. Does it feel like a long time coming for you?
Yes, absolutely. To first of all get an invitation to bowl the Tournament of Champions as an amateur, and then to make the TV show left quite an impression in my mind, and I most definitely wanted to get back here as a professional to prove that I do belong here.
Patrick, thank you. It's going to be interesting to see what happens today, because Patrick Healey might have a bit of an advantage. These lanes have all played very differently this week, but he has bowled 7 of his 12 games on lanes 3 and 4, the 2 lanes they'll be bowling on today. Dave?
Leslie, he told us last night how comfortable he'll be on the TV pair. We'll see if it plays out that way. On the line, $100,000, far and away the most on the PBA Tour so far this year. 3rd place gets $10,000. Remember, during the regular TV shows, including the wild card, the 5th place would guarantee $9,000. So it's top heavy. All the big bucks go to the winner.
Really puts an emphasis on winning.
So now it's Healey Jr. getting set for his first ball. We have not seen him on TV in some time since he won in Kansas City back in October. How are his nerves, Randy, right now? First ball, TOC.
Well, he's got to be feeling a little bit. The first couple of shots on TV are always nerve-wracking.
Gets a nice break.
Exactly. Nothing like getting loose and catching a nice break. This ball's going to go Brooklyn. He's going to catch a nice break, tripping the 6th pin, 2nd from the left. You can just see by his facial expression, he's like, oh no.
Now it's Ryan Shafer. His last title, the year 2000, in Las Vegas, came on a 48-foot oil pattern. Gets a break as well. Late trip on his first ball. So he does well with the longer oil patterns.
That is a fair trade. Patrick Healey Jr. goes Brooklyn on the left lane. Ryan Shafer goes trip bucket on the right lane.
From Elmira, southern tier of New York State, about 4+ hours from here by car. Wife Michelle watching back home today. Pocket. On lane 3 for Shafer.
I think the most amazing thing when you watch bowling balls go down the lane on this oil pattern is how straight these power players' balls are actually traveling. That's because there's absolutely no friction. You know, when you oil 50 feet, that leaves yourself 10 feet of back end. That ball's hydroplaning by the time it gets down there. The move in the back end is very subtle. That's why we saw a carry that wasn't very good, strike percentages at an all-time low this week.
Back to Healey Jr. Pocket for him, and what a great start for each. On the TV pair, the arena studding, a major championship on the line. Tremendous pressure by the numbers this week. See the strike and spare conversion rate. He wants to increase certainly the strike number. Can he, or anyone for that matter, master the TV pair with the oil pattern the way it's been read?
Well, I think the guys that played the best this week were the guys that, when they got into trouble, managed to avoid leaving big, ugly splits. They made all of their spares. You're going to see all the guys in the telecast today have a very high spare percentage for this week. If you can't strike, you got to make spares. The other thing is it all depended on how the lanes broke down.
TV lights different than what they've seen during the competition, starting with a round of 32. No qualifying for these great bowlers, including our Randy Peterson this week. Another strike for Healey Jr. It's live coverage of our first major of this season. 5 straight strikes to begin play in the semifinals. Shafer in search of a triple to even the match. 10-pin.
Boy, and just a real good shot. I don't know how many 10 pins I saw yesterday in the round of 16, the round of 8. there was a boatload. The match against Norm Duke and Patrick Healey Jr. Norm got a big dose of 10-pin-itis. Took a 2-0 lead, came back, Patrick Healey did, and swept the last 3.
Shafer has had a lot of major success. 3rd and 4 majors. And his spare ball with an appropriate sponsor does the job, gets the 10-pin. Second in the TOC a couple of years back to Jason Couch, one of our semifinals.
Got to plug those sponsors.
There's his best finish in a major.
Kirk, I got something on the ball.
Kirk Von Kruger is the tournament director. Ryan conferring with him about the delay. We do have a shot clock, 25 seconds to get that shot off. So that's why he's buying a few extra seconds. Each shot is so critical. Believe us, the bowlers want to be sure the equipment, the layout is perfect. With ESPN in sync, we show you. That came right through the nose.
Well, it goes right through the nose, leaving a 3-6-10, and the ideal way to make this spare is to cover all 3 pins with a bowling ball.
Perfect so far. Multi-pin conversions, trying to make it 5 for 5. Can he cover? Gets his mark. On lane 3. So back-to-back spares after a double to start for Shafer. Healey looking for a 4-bagger. A strike here. He's got a 24-pin lead. He told us last night how much he hopes the crowd gets behind him. He felt quite a bit of support, even taking on the legend Norm Duke in that exciting round of 8. They went all 5 games. Had some support, really gave him some extra juice. Look out. Big 4.
And that was the other thing that I saw this week. A lot of is when you did make a bad shot, you almost always paid the full price, and this is what's going to happen. This ball goes right through the face, leaves the hockey player's teeth, or the big 4.
Just one open frame in that round of 8 classic we talked about against Duke last night.
You see that real low split conversion rate. That's because they all look like this.
Can't kick them over across the deck to try to get the 4-7. Just takes the 6-10 and our first open of the semifinal match. So after a triple, now things change dramatically for Patrick. Much different format for our bowlers. No qualifying. The 2 9-game qualifiers. Best of 5 in the round of 32, and they got here. Big strike there from Healey Jr. Not nearly as much bowling. Randy, do you think it's easier on the players at this point to have not been through such a long grind?
Well, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. You know, you're glad that your body doesn't have to go through all the motions of bowling 40 games, 50 games, when you include all the practice. But on the flip side, you know, when you bowl that many games, you really, really get acclimated to the surroundings, to the pattern, the lane conditions.
Shafer urges it right into the pocket with success. And speaking of the wear and tear, Ryan, every day he goes through a little rehab with his left hip and knee injury. So it's an incredible grind for these athletes on tour. So maybe a few less games could be helpful, make you feel more fresh for the TV final.
Right, and you know, when we asked Ryan there last night, he said the same thing. He said, well, yeah, in one way my body doesn't feel as bad, but the other, I didn't get as many games as I would have wanted to start feeling really comfortable, especially because the lane's being so difficult.
6 frame for him. Looks for a double with a strike, a 14-pin lead.
Hold it. Yeah.
7-pin goes down late.
Get over this 7-pin.
Ryan Shafer of Elmira, New York, talks the pin down and gets his strike for a double and a 14-pin lead. The semifinal is underway. $100,000 on the line. First place prize money from the TOC in Connecticut. Here is the 1970 Tournament of Champions. After that incredible Beyond a Lilo moment, something really no one in the PBA world will ever forget. Don Johnson laying down on the lanes, just one pin shy of a perfect TV game of the TOC. More history to be made here this afternoon. We're situated on 240 acres along the Thames River. The incredible Mohegan Sun Resort and the arena, which is state of the art. Has hosted NBA basketball, lots of college basketball, championship boxing, and today, the best bowlers in the world.
And Don Johnson, in my opinion, no offense, Fred Borden, the best coach that's ever in the world. I went to see him in 1990, took a week off, and went to Grand Prairie, Texas the next week and won the tournament.
That certainly helped you. Healey Jr. had it open in the fourth, trying to get back in this match. That's a double in his sixth frame. And he's down 4 pins. Originally from Niagara Falls, New York, right across the U.S.-Canada border from one of the most impressive aesthetic sites in this continent. Now hails from Mexico City, Mexico. And a very intriguing story. His wife Teresa, also a great bowler. And watching back home, his stepson Victor tells us the commute back and forth to Mexico, no big deal. Just a couple of flights. We can do it. ESPN Instinct shows you Healey tripping the 10 late. So many points on the line. March to the PBA World Championship. The top 8 get themselves right past qualifying. You saw where they stand now, and on the line today, double tour points, $50,000 for the winner, along with $100,000. Randy, you've already wrapped up some nice points too, right?
Yeah, I think I got like 16.5 or something.
Gladly take that for making the TOC field here in Uncasville. Back to Shafer. Pocket.
Ryan Shafer is a type of player that I call plant and hit. I want you to watch just how straight up and down that left leg is. Take a difference in the style here of Pat Healey. Look at the amount of knee bend he has. 2 different games. Just goes to show you in our sport, they come in all different shapes, sizes, and styles. Ryan.
Incredible story, sorry, Randy, with Patrick Healey Jr. coming from another country to compete here. Shafer, who strikes there, has had to overcome some incredible health challenges.
Well, he's a diabetic, and he's really had to regulate his insulin, and he's found a way to do that by he really started to count carbs. Right now, what he's doing is he's just finding the pocket, the 1-3 pocket, in a real good way. He has a 4-bagger. He's got a nice 14-pin lead. He's got a little bit of a hip problem as well, Dave. You know, we talked to him last night about it. He said he's got that German Shepherd hip.
Looking for a 4-bagger. Down 4, he strikes. 2 pin.
Walk to the left. I was too scared of the ball hooking high. Walk to the left. Drifted left.
Scared of this ball going a little bit too far to the left, but watch this ball never take down the lane. Just that subtle move left. We're used to seeing that big break and that big sweep and hook towards the 1-3 pocket. Just didn't happen this week.
Looking to up the rate, single pin conversion. Picks up his 2 with ease.
Oh, dog it.
And his wife Teresa, as we mentioned,
It wasn't a shot you wanted to throw there.
a world-class bowler herself. She was competing when Patrick was on the show and won in Kansas City in October. She was in Latvia competing for the Mexican national team. How much does that help him, having essentially a world-class bowler as a spouse to aid in what's going on?
I don't know if I want to go there. I think it depends on the 2 individuals.
Sure.
I mean, my wife, she was a 200 average bowler, but she never said a word to me about bowling. Never afterwards, you know, great job, bad job, nothing. I think it depends on the 2 individuals. If they can work in a nice harmonious situation, great.
Crossover, 10-pin wiggles, and stands.
Christmas.
Well, we're going to have to get a reset. Respot the 10. This ball again, that was similar to the same shot he threw in the first frame. That ball didn't quite drift as far left. Got a nice break just leaving the 10-pin. And right now, Pat Healey Jr. is in a whole heap of trouble.
Gets the reset. Shafer working on a max of 266. Heading into the frame, Healey Jr. was at 230 max. He needs a rally desperately. Needed to strike really in the foundation. 9th frame, didn't get that. 10 pin.
Not my hands now. Not my hands now, God.
Amazing to think. 2 TOC appearances in his career. 1 as an amateur, as our Leslie Goodell mentioned with him, started this match. 2 TV appearances in those TOCs. That's extraordinary to get that far in each, especially as an amateur 7 years ago. 5-bagger attempt here. Shafer, 10 pin.
Well, and I know it didn't strike, but he's doing what he has to do right now, and that's fill frames. Leaves himself with a 10 pin, which for these guys is an easy spare. A mark here in the 9th and a mark in the 10th with good count. And he's going to go on into the title match.
Or he was just 2 years ago against Jason Couch. There's the 10 pin. That's what Shafer needs to shut out Patrick Healey Jr. and advance to the championship match.
Come on.
Here it comes.
Scout. Oh,
No.
That pin wasn't long enough.
Just the front of the 10 pin.
That pin's going to go to the sidewall and go looking for that 10. It's just not long enough. Oh.
A nudge, and it won't topple.
Major championship, single pin spare, 10 pin. Not a give me, but should be made by this guy.
Seven-pin count, all he needs for a victory in the semis and a chance for his first ever major championship. He'll be in the finals.
Paul Kaler, our statistician, rooms with Ryan Shafer. Paul, do you throw it straight and hard down the middle, or you throw the strike ball here? Okay, strike ball, he says.
Paul says
I agree.
strike ball. Paul, one of several PBA bowlers helping us out on our ESPN telecast each week. Shafer's done it with a strike on lane 3.
All right. Love you, Sally. That was for you.
That was a heck of a performance there, Dave Ryan.
Speaking to his wife, Michelle, back home in Elmira, New York. Patrick Healey Jr. comes very close to his first ever major. He'll fall one step shy of the championship match. 234 for Shafer. He's wrapped it up.
Next time, man, next time. That's why it's so hard out here to win.
Pat Healey was one of my choices when guys came up and asked me, and fans come up and asked me, who do you think is going to make the television show and who do you think is going to win? I said, well, I just got done bowling with Pat Healey in the round of 32. I really like his chances a lot because, number one, he's a shot maker. Number two, that nice soft speed in hand. Just thought it was a good combination for this week. The strike here, he's only going to lose by 4 pins.
By virtue of winning in Kansas City, Patrick Healey Jr. got himself here. Shafer was lower down on the list. th career TV appearance, Patrick Healey Jr. His record will fall to 6 and 15 on TV. A great run for him. All the way to the last 4 bowlers for Healey Jr. Shafer, though, is on to the championship match. He will take on either Robert Smith or Jason Couch. That's the next semi. In the first semifinal, big shot making for Shafer at the right time. Beautiful hotel at the Mohegan Sun Resort. Not far at all from Boston or New York. And this place has been just jam-packed. Gambling entertainment, great hotel facilities, and the arena as well. For this tremendous TOC. PBA schedule, the days in on the road for this week. After a couple of weeks off, 3 weeks from today, we go to the Earl Anthony Classic. Another arena final, our third straight on the PBA Tour, from Tacoma, Washington, then to Medford and Reno. The West Swing starts at the beginning of the new year. Regionals as well. Keep in mind, 3 regional champions made it to the TOC. They were bounced in the first round, but still a great appearance for them. Lots of legends are in the house. Leslie Goodell joined by one of them now.
Yes, I'm with Mark Roth, who has 34 titles to his credit, 2 major wins, but one that has eluded him is the Tournament of Champions. Mark, how hard is it to win not just the Tournament of Champions, but any major?
Well, you're bowling against the greatest bowlers in the world, and before the new format, you bowling 56 games. So you had a lot of games to bowl, and anything can happen. It's just bowling the right person at the right time. You
came onto the scene in the early 70s. How much has the PBA changed since then?
Well, now you're bowling for 100,000. When I first came out, it was like 6, 8. Tournament champions that time was 25,000. Now it's 100. It's held in an arena. Get more people in. It's a lot more exciting.
Mark, thank you. Randy, that's about the time you came onto the scene, right?
No.
A little bit off there. Robert Smith, a power bowler. We haven't seen him on the domestic TV schedule yet until now. Saving the best for last. Huge opportunity for him and a major championship. He's won one already. The U.S. Open a couple years back. Jason Couch, our 2-time defending champ. They are next. Mohegan Sun includes the Casino of the Earth, Casino of the Sky, 300,000 square feet of total gaming space, and a tremendous arena, host of the TOC. We are set for Couch and Smith. Round of 16, Robert Smith beat Double D, Dave DeAntremont, in 4 games to advance to the round of 8, where he'd meet Walter Ray Williams Jr., the Hall of Famer, with 35 career titles. A great 5-game match. Smith was up 2-0. And eventually was able to hang on in a 5th and final game to advance. Jason Couch in the round of 16 met up with his roommate for the week, Kurt Pilon. He beat Pilon to advance to the round of 8 and through on to the championship round himself. There he faced Richie Allen, throwing nothing under a 225. Couch easily advanced in the best of 5 to today's TV show. The left-hander Jason Couch, our 2-time defending champion, now with Leslie Goodell.
Well, he certainly knows what it's like to win this tournament, and the $100,000 first prize wouldn't be so bad either. But what other significance would there be for you to win this tournament today, Jason?
Well, Leslie, I think this would just cement me in Hall of Fame. You know, everybody tells you 10 titles and a few majors, and this would be my 3rd major in a row in this tournament. So I'm really focused. I'm ready to go.
Jason, thank you. You know, unlike the other semi, neither Robert Smith or Jason Couch have bowled on lanes 3 and 4 so far.
Interesting to see, Leslie, how these two in the semis will respond to that.
And the guy that had the most experience on 3 and 4 just got beat.
We'll see how it plays out. Things do change quite a bit. The TV lights are different than what the bowlers face, what you face against Kovaniemi in the round of 32. Here it's the emotional fireballer Robert Smith, who throws the hardest strike and spare ball on tour. He and Eugene McCune can really crank it, but with the 50-foot oil pattern, perhaps a little bit of a different strategy.
Yeah, I don't know how much his power was to his advantage this week, because like we've been talking about through the entire telecast, ball just won't bite down the lane.
His day starts with a trip of the 4.
Well, a nice start for Robert Smith, or some of us call him affectionately Maximum Bob. Strongest strike ball on the tour, a rev rate of about 540, which would translate into about 540 revolutions per minute. This guy's no slouch either. This guy can really bring it.
Only lefty. In the final 4 of our TOC, great start in the pocket for Jason Couch.
You know, the thing that's most interesting when you talk about Jason Couch and his success in the Tournament of Champions is his last 2 wins came on a 45-foot pattern and a 49-foot pattern.
220.8 average score this week. Strike percentage certainly lower than what we're used to seeing. That's because the oil pattern much different. 50 feet, unprecedented on the PBA Tour.
And Jason Couch using 2 different balls. Stronger ball in the left lane.
Ooh, 7-pin.
Boy, and a real good shot there. Watkins in just a hair light. This is a real good shot. just left or just right of the second arrow where Jason's playing. Ball's just a little light in the pocket, leaving it weak 7. 25 out of 26 on single pin spare conversions this week.
As the Miller High Life spare ball picks up the 7, gets his mark. Now we mentioned that Ryan Shafer won 2 years ago his last title, Las Vegas, on a 48-foot oil pattern. The last TOC championship that was held by the PBA Tour in the year 2000. That's when Jason Couch bowled in Lake Zurich, Illinois, near Chicago. That was a 49-foot oil pattern, so he likes the long patterns as well.
Yeah, he really likes the long patterns because Jason is a lot different than most left-handers. Most of the left-handers like to play closer towards the edge of the lane, closer towards the channel. Jason Couch likes to play in.
Yeah, to Smith. 10 in the pit. And the pinnacle of our PBA season as well.
Yeehaw! That rodeo is huge. We actually had a tournament going on the same time the rodeo was there, the mixed doubles event that we used to have in Vegas. Couldn't get a room anywhere. I had to sleep in my car all week.
Really?
No.
I hope not. ESPN Instinct shows you Smith looking for help. Doesn't get it with a 10-pin.
Well, it looks like the exact same hit that Jason Couch left on that lane, except on the right side. Robert Smith this week has altered his game a little bit. He's got like a modified 4.5-step approach, but he started holding the ball a little bit lower. And what that does is it kind of shortens his backswing up a little bit. It helps him to throw the ball a little softer.
All right, got that out of the way.
That was not soft. Blistering spare ball on the 10-pin for Robert Smith. We mentioned he did so well in Japan as he won the Japan Cup over Chris Barnes, 224 to 222 in the final. That was in September, though. Between then and now, no TV show for Robert Smith.
I'm sorry, Dave.
So he tries to get himself back in gear. Been a long time since he's made the TV show. Back to Couch and a 7-pin.
Strikes hard to come by this week. 10% lower than normal for the year, but you see where Robert Smith was. Robert Smith was way down, but you know, because of the format and the draw, he had the lowest average of anybody in the field.
Spare percentage numbers pretty impressive across the board, although 80% was for Healey Jr. Now we talk about the strike numbers, Randy. No 300 games throughout the entire TOC. During the regular season, more than 3.08 per tournament on average, including you a couple times this year. In fact, in back-to-back events.
Back-to-back.
There you go. Let's get it right.
There wasn't going to be any 300s this week.
Yeah.
If somebody shot 300, it was going to be by pure luck because the lanes are just too difficult. Norm Duke bowled a great game last night.
Yes.
But Patrick Allen did bowl 299.
Strike in the 4th for Jason Couch.
We were talking earlier about what this guy's done at the beginning of the year and kind of the decline the rest of the year, and he told us it was just it's been the giant mental and emotional roller coaster for him all year.
He said last night to us too many expectations after winning the Japan Cup. He was thinking, man, I'm going to be bowler of the year. I am on fire, and all of a sudden...
Oh, go left, go left.
He's talking to it.
Right. Hold, I don't...
Just
do whatever you feel like doing, man.
Just don't give me a split.
Boy,
right.
It sounds like me bowling this week. Just mass confusion.
Guess it's nice to know I can miss 8 left and get a 4-pin.
He didn't. I guarantee he didn't miss 8 left, but it might have felt like it. You missed 8 left on this. You missed the head pin going away left.
As confident as ever now, though, picks up his 4-pin and his mark.
That was terrible.
Robert Smith has got the most unusual grip on tour. It's called the Sarge Easter grip. He puts his middle finger to the first knuckle. His ring finger goes all the way to the second knuckle. That's conventional. And the other one's fingertip. His spare ball, he uses his ring finger and his pinky. The most amazing thing about it, though, is he has like what we talked about, 450 or 540 rev rate with his strike ball. With his spare ball, it rotates about 4 times.
See that spare ball in action. Leaves the 2-pin. That's what's left for his mark. So after winning the Japan Cup, 17th in Wichita, 6th in KC, and then a slide. 84th in Memphis, 131st in Chicago, 35th in Detroit, 71st in Grand Rapids. Just could not get himself going. But with his unusual grip, picks up his mark.
Yeah, and you can see that ball. It almost looks like a knuckleball coming right out of his hand. The tremendous power of Robert Smith. You want to know how to cut it down? Drill a conventional ball and use your pinky and your ring finger. And then throw it really, really hard.
Yeah, he is throwing it hard, folks.
In the pin?
Be fooled that the revs are low. It's just the delivery and release, and the numbers this week for Smith. Strike percentage rate certainly down from his standards. And he was joking last night to us about the 203 average. He said, boy, I've got low average of the final 4, that's for sure. But that's because of the conditions, and the bottom line is he has survived.
Yeah, and with him, it's normally the other way around. He makes a telecast. He's got the highest strike percentage. And usually a pretty big average to go along with that.
Back to the lefty. Yeah! In the pocket for Couch.
On the right lane, he's using a medium strength bowling ball with medium surface, ball that just kind of rolls. On the left lane, he's using a ball that just rolls immediately with a lot of back-end reaction. He's using a stronger ball or a higher friction ball in the left lane, lower friction ball in the right lane, and that way he can stand and look in the same spot and throw, even though he's throwing 2 different bowling balls, he can throw each ball the same.
Looks for a triple. Strike here, he's got a 12-pin lead. With the other strike ball, comes in a little high from that left side and leaves 2.
Stay behind it.
Okay, and what Jason means by this is when you turn early for a left-hander, the ball is going to go to the right. And this ball definitely goes right and cuts right through the heart. He gets a nice break, though, tripping the 8 and the 7 out, just leaving himself with the 2-4.
Just 1 loss in match play through his 3 victories to get to the final day. For Jason Couch from Claremont, Florida, tells us last night the entire city near Orlando is tuned in today to watch him bowl. His daughters, Courtney and Healey, watching closely as well. Right now in a great match with a power thrower, Robert Smith. Mike Durbin is the only player in PBA history to have won the Tournament of Champions 3 times in his career. The first back in 1972 when he defeated Tim Harahan in the title match. His second title came 10 years later in 1982 when he qualified second and would advance to the finals to beat out Steve Cook by 30 pins. Finally, his last TOC title came in 1984, where he climbed the ladder, beating 4 opponents, including Mike Galvey, in the title match.
Welcome back to the Mohegan Sun Arena and the Tournament of Champions. You know, Mike Durbin was the only player to ever win 3 different tournaments using 3 different approaches, a 3, a 4, and a 5-step approach. Speaking of approaches, let's take a look at our Dexter approach. Robert Smith, the most powerful strike ball on tour. Here's the reason why. Bent elbow, maximum cupped wrist. Go ahead and roll. At the bottom, he straightens that out. It's kind of like throwing a yo-yo. That's how you get all the revolutions, that snapping action at the bottom. Now, how many times you hear your friends bowling league at home saying, I'm throwing it really bad, while you're dropping your shoulder? Hey, look at this, folks. You want to be a great player? Drop that right shoulder. That helps you feed it to the right. And that's what you have to do when you have all those revolutions.
Robert Smith subject to this week's Dexter approach. Even match. Semi-final to see who takes on Ryan Shafer for the TOC championship. It's a major. $100,000 first place prize money on the line, double tour points, and the extraordinary prestige these players feel that comes with winning a major. A lot on the line today. Messenger. Oh, how did it not trip the 10?
This was the massive or atomic messenger. All the rev rates, even though there's just a slight back-end reaction, watch what it does to the head pin. spare here. It's a one-pin match.
Man, good shot.
Both players working on a spare.
We mentioned last year, Empire State Open, Bowlers Club in Latham, New York, near Albany. Robert Smith defeated Jason Couch. And Jason and Robert both joking about that quite a bit last night and today. Match wins so far. A couple of tour winners this year in D'Anchimato won in Wichita. Walter Ray Williams Jr. won in Detroit with his 35th title. Game close, but Walter Ray a spectator this afternoon.
Boy, and anytime you get by Walter Ray Williams Jr., you got to feel really good about your chances going into the televised championship round. And that's just a huge mistake.
You got to be kidding me, Rob. God.
Overhead view of his release. And that ball would not lay off, and he knows. The one thing, it was so hard this week to recover from open frames because it was so hard to throw strikes. 7 frames, Robert Smith's only got 2.
Down.
Hoping for something. Open frame. First of this semifinal match.
And again, you know, there's a little bit of a mistake, and it didn't take a whole lot this week. Robert Smith pays maximum price.
Seventh is open for Smith. Now Couch trying to take advantage, working on a spare, a max score of 247 for him.
Take a look at Jason Couch's approach here. Same kind of deal. Wide open body angle. He's got that left shoulder down. Robert Smith wide open, right shoulder down. The only difference, or the biggest difference that I see between the two, Jason Couch has a very high backswing, very steep. Robert Smith's backswing not quite as high.
Only the one open we saw in his run here. No open there for Jason Couch. Trips out the 10 late for a strike.
Talk
15-pin lead.
Excuse me, Dave. Talk about all those revolutions, all that power. Jason Couch actually reduced his rev rate, actually cut his down. And the reason why is he wanted his ball to start reading the pattern, reading the lane, the oil on the lanes a lot more evenly.
Has won an arena championship before, 98, Market Square Arena, Indianapolis, Indiana, over Rich Wolf. He knows about success in an arena setting, and that's big success, 60 feet of it on lane 3.
And I think the reason why Jason Couch has had so much success on long patterns is when he gets jacked up, when he starts to get pumped, he starts to throw. I mean, he starts to throw hard, he starts to hit. Well, when you ball in 50 feet, 48 feet, 49 feet, his ball doesn't overreact or change directions quite as drastically as it does on the shorter patterns.
See the results, bottom of your screen, TOC, the round of 32, round of 16. That includes the 3 regional champions and 3 senior champions. The seniors were Mark Rothdale, Eagle Bob Glass, Wes Malott, Mike Nate, Bob Davidson with a regional tour entrance. Those made up 6 of the 32 members of this elite field here at the TOC. The rest, the last 26 tour champs, including our own Randy Peters.
Thanks, buddy. You know, being aggressive in sports is a good thing. Being aggressive in the sport of bowling for me is a good thing. But when you have power like this guy here, Robert Smith and Jason Couch, they've got to be careful.
Works on a strike, 9th frame, down 15 if he strikes here. 10-pin goes down.
And no pun intended because we're at the Mohegan Sun, but I like to call this the Tomahawk 10, where the 6-pin goes in the gutter and just kind of chops it down.
Still just a max of 222 for him. Couch works on a maximum of 247 in the driver's seat. Smith here with a strike in the foundation, 9th frame. Puts himself in much better shape. Down 15 pins for the lefty Jason Couch. Looked a little light there.
Yeah, and he let one get away from you. As you see, Parker Bone and his wife Leslie sitting next to Walter Ray. Jason Couch let that one get away from him a little bit. and got very fortunate to only leave the 3-pin. He had a chance to put Robert Smith away. With a spare, he'll be going at a 2:16 pace, 2 strikes, and 2 strikes and 7 pins in the 10th frame. He will shut out Robert Smith.
For a spare, picks up the 3-pin with ease. Parker Bone III, the MVP, the Chris Schenkel Award winner from last year, still in search of his first TV appearance. This year was here via his victory battle at Little Creek in March of this year, last tour season. There are the semifinal numbers. Couch, 2 strikes and 7 pins. And he is in the finals against Ryan Shafer. Tenth frame. 7-pin.
Boy, that looked like a pretty good shot. Well, door's open now. Jason will make this spare more than likely. Great direction on this shot, kept his hand underneath it, and that ball looked like it was about as good as he could throw it. Again, we saw a lot of corner pins this week, both on the left and right side. Spare here, and any kind of decent count in the 10th frame will force Robert Smith to double and get a good count to win.
A double and 4 pins if Couch strikes here after picks up his mark in the 10th frame. 13-pin lead for now, but the door open a crack for Smith. Just what he wanted with incredible pressure on the line coming up for him in his 10th frame. How will the native of Southern California deal with it?
Way wide.
Yikes. 1-3 in the 7th.
Well, it's kind of irrelevant because Robert Smith still needs 2 strikes in the 10th frame, regardless of if Jason got 7, 8, or 9 or a strike there. 2 strikes in 1, Robert Smith advances. Anything less, Jason Couch going for 3 Tournament of Champions victories in a row.
We've been here before.
Robert Smith has won a major, the U.S. Open. 3 good shots, he says to himself. Runner-up, Rookie of the Year in '98 to Barnes. He's been in big spots before. 7 stays up. You see Jason Couch breathe a sigh of relief because now
game and it's Miller time, baby. One more game.
he's going to the finals to take on Ryan Shafer.
One more time. One more game and it's Miller time, baby. One more.
What a moment. The 7-pin just wouldn't fall for Smith.
What a great shot Robert Smith throws here, and just an absolute terrible break. Yeah, big deal. He gets the messenger on the 10. You think Jason Couch just dodged one there? This is his tournament. Unbelievable. Let's not take anything away from Jason Couch. He bowled a great game.
1 pin. All that Smith needed to set himself
Don't
up.
give it to me there.
Of course, because you know you always strike on the fill shot.
Better make it 3, bro.
All right, Betty.
You better make it 3.
All right.
2-12 to 201 in the semifinals. Jason Couch sets up a rematch. The last TOC in 2000, Couch beat Shafer. In addition to the 10,000-seat Mohegan Sun Arena, we've got a 34-story luxury hotel, 1,200 guest rooms and suites, all the gaming facilities you could ask for. Spectacular facilities here at the Mohegan Sun Resorts. The TOC, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Leslie Goodell providing great interviews today. Our entire ESPN PBA crew with you. We are now ready for the finals. Patrick Healey Jr. falling to Ryan Shafer in the semifinals. Couch ready for Shafer next. Healey Jr., the subject of this week's Miller High Life. Get to know them.
Patrick Healey Jr. I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York. I was born and raised there. I began bowling at age 7. My parents were recreational bowlers at best, and I believe the story goes one evening they were going to go out and bowl, I guess, on a date, and they couldn't find a babysitter for me, so they took me with them, and I liked it so much, I suppose, they decided to take me more often and eventually enroll me into a league. I'm a Buffalo Sabres fan and a Buffalo Bills fan. I wasn't bowling. I probably would be involved in computers somehow. My favorite restaurants, probably Macaroni Grill. Pasta is one of my favorite foods. I like Billy Joel. I like his style of music. I know quite a few of his songs. I think he's a tremendous artist. Each year I've been out here, I've improved on a lot of things. People can look forward to seeing me quite often on TV.
Head-to-head on TV, Shafer and Couch 1-1. This is the rubber match with everything on the line at the TOC. Back in 1995, Mike Albee was forced to watch in the 9th frame as Bob Spalding had the Tournament of Champions title all but won. But things changed. Spalding left the dreaded 7-10 split. It would force Mike Albee to throw a double in the 10th to take the title. And he did it. In dramatic fashion, Mike Albee became just the 4th player to complete bowling's Triple Crown. And Mike Albee lost to Richie Allen in the round of 16. One of many legends here at the TOC. Our Leslie Goodell joined by 2 more.
Oh yes, 2 more Hall of Famers who together have a combined 64 tournament wins, 4 major titles, but both of them, like Mark Roth earlier, have not won the Tournament of Champions. Parker, let's start with you. How difficult is it to win not just this tournament, but any major?
It really is difficult. You have the best of the best, especially this week, 32 elite champions vying for the title.
Walter Ray, more specifically with this tournament, you made it to the round of 8. What are the conditions like, and how tough is it going to be to win today?
Well, I'm not bowling out there today. I had a great reaction the first 2 rounds. Last night against Robert Smith, my reaction wasn't quite as good early. It became a little better later on, and it's just hard to say what's going to happen out there, but the scores look pretty decent out there. I think a 230 or 240 is going to be what it takes to win.
Predictions, who do you think is going to win?
Well, Ryan had a little bit of reaction, looked like, but Jason's definitely capable since obviously won the last 2 tournament champions.
Parker?
I'm going to go with Jason Couch over Ryan. I'll say 227 to 224.
There you have it, Dave.
Leslie, thanks, with Walter Ray and Parker. Walter Ray's a very good golfer. We got golf to talk about. 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 on the West Coast on ABC. Don't miss final round coverage of the World Golf Championships. EMC, World Cup from beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's live coverage of the World Golf Championships today, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. They're through 3 rounds. The standings, USA in 4th place going in. Ryan Shafer has never won a major, but as we mentioned, he came pretty close to the TOC outside Chicago a couple of years ago. Couch's 2nd TOC championship. Mohegan Sun Resort and Casino is the site of the TOC. This event, part of this arena that has hosted Michael Jordan, the NBA, and the Washington Wizards, and some of the best bowlers of all time here this year. Randy Peterson, we know a lot about what's happening with the championship recap. What is really the key point of what's happened in the matches today up to this point?
I think the guys that have avoided the disastrous frames, you know, no big 4s for the guys that have won, no big open frames, no big nasty splits to shoot.
Robert Smith with a chance there with a double on the 10th and a count, but he could not quite come through to get himself to the championship match.
Semifinal match number 1, Ryan Shafer defeating Patrick Healey Jr. by the score of 234 to 230. And in semifinal number 2, it was Jason Couch taking care of Robert Smith. 212 to 201, setting a great championship match for the prestigious Tournament of Champions title.
That's right, 1 more game for Jason Couch. Ryan Shafer and Couch joined by Leslie right now.
Well, it was the last Tournament of Champions that Ryan Shafer lost to Jason Couch in the finals. Is this a revenge match for you, Ryan?
It's always a revenge against Jason. I never seem to beat him, and I'm going to beat him today.
Jason, I know that you said yesterday that you were not going to think about being only the 2nd person to win this tournament 3 times until after you won the first match. You've now won the first match. Are you thinking about it now?
I'm thinking about making 12 great shots out there today, and I beat Ryan in the last Tournament of Champions, and I think I can do it again.
And one of them will walk away with $100,000, Dave.
Leslie, thank you. The 2 finalists are ready. And Jason does not want to fall 1 step shy of history to become the first ever to win 3 in a row. Ryan Shafer's had some time off. Do you remember your thoughts before your last game, before that first major you won?
Well, I had to bowl 3 great champions en route to get there. David Ozio, Emblem of the Chelly.
Good start,
Holman. You know, I think Jason Couch put it best last night when he said, you know, when I was a kid watching the PBA Tour, I used to pretend that I needed 3 strikes in the 10th frame to win. Not to win just any tournament, but to win the Tournament of Champions.
Looking to make it 2 out of 3 in arena finals. Ryan Shafer of Elmira, New York. Southern tier of New York State, not far from the Pennsylvania border, near Binghamton. Underway in the championship match for him, 10-pin.
And right away, Ryan Shafer's made a ball change from the first match that he won. I think it's a stronger ball that is trying to grab more of the mid lane and give him that nice soft arc in the back end. Looks like he's moved in just a pinch. A stronger ball.
Picks up his 10-pin and his mark. Best of that sport competing, best of our PBA Tour. Down to 2. We had 32 to begin the TOC field. Double wood 2-8 for Shafer.
As you can see, 2 different balls, much deeper line on the left lane. I bowled my match on 3 and 4, and I can tell you personally, lane 3 hooked a lot more than lane 4 did for those 5 games that I bowled against Mika Koivuniemi. Right now, the difference doesn't look as drastic as it was when we bowled our matches in the round of 32. But you can see different ball in the left lane, further left for Ryan Shafer. Stronger ball, more direct on the right lane.
Picks up his mark. Shafer's dad, Art, is in the crowd here today. Retired from car sales and the bowling industry. Back home, Mom Victoria, brother Gordon, sister Karen watching as well, in addition to his wife Michelle. Now it's up to Couch after his strike. Speaking of family, really looking forward to getting home. He has not seen his 2 young girls, Courtney and Healey, in almost 3 months because of the rigors of the tour and how difficult it is to travel. See the match wins this week for Couch. He's got a photo shoot after this event, then he's going to be home. He'll skip the event in Tacoma. Spend some more time with his girls. Big strike. He hopes he's going to bring home $100,000 on that trip back to Florida.
One of the reasons why Jason made it this far is because he told me that he switched balls after every game that he bowled this week. During matches, he would change balls each and every game, gave him the best look possible.
He's for a triple. That's what he's searching for. It's a big arena crowd watching. 22-pin lead with a strike.
Here it comes. It's going to get it.
You better believe it. Scout takes the 7 down.
Do you think this guy has some magic when it comes to bowling the Tournament of Champions? Watch this. Here comes the head pin. And just a slow leaner on the 7. What a huge break. Think Jason likes this one? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Triple for him to start his final. Shafer on lane 4, avoids the deadly 7-10, takes them both down.
Take that! Touche, brother!
Evens the score.
He points the finger over there at Jason. He says, I can get that messenger as well, pal. And just what you would expect in a major championship, the kind of battle that we got going on right here, lefty versus righty.
So Shafer has overcome his hip and knee injuries, dealing with the diabetes. A lot of personal issues he's able to overcome to get this far. And a big strike in the pocket for him. A little more pure as he shreds the rack than the late trip of the 710. He'll take it. Triple for Couch to start. Shafer down 12 pins after the double. We're in the championship match of the TOC in Connecticut. Jason Couch certainly has left his mark on the Tournament of Champions by becoming the only player in PBA history to win the event in back-to-back years. In '99, his first title, a 4-pin victory over Chris Barnes in a great championship match decided in the final frame. The following year, Couch defended his title by beating Ryan Shafer by 32 pins, engraving his name in the PBA Tournament of Champions history books. He is currently our defending champion. So now the rematch at the Mohegan Sun Arena with this trophy on the line. Shafer and Couch. Jason making a TV show here today. His prior TV appearance, the Miller High Life Open outside Chicago. Been a roller coaster ride. He's had some very difficult weeks on tour. He's told us throughout the year. Yeah! 10 in the pit there. There have been times where he's been frustrated to the point of exasperation.
Yeah, you know, and if you look at the kind of year that Jason's had up to this tournament, he's quietly had a nice year when the left-hand side of the lane has been very tough all year. I asked him what the deal was. He said that he didn't think that the players on the left side were breaking the lanes down the right way. You know, he's the kind of guy that never likes to make excuses, and he's real honest about his bowling and everything that's going on out there. But you know what? He said, a nice year. This week here, he can win $100,000 and have a great year. Right now, he's working on 4 in a row.
Tie for 6. The umpire stayed open last week. Yes! Another big strike for Couch. What a start. A 5-bagger to begin the championship round. There's Paul Munich, Vice President of Sports and Entertainment here at the Mohegan Sun Casino and Resort. They have been fantastic hosts to all of the bowlers and our ESPN crew all week long. Special thanks to him and his great staff. 5th frame for Shafer. Strike here is down 22. Looks for a triple. He's got it.
Mark Bulger coming back. He's undefeated this year. 6-0, I think, for 5 or 6-0 for the Rams.
Former Mountaineer. He has been something as a starter in St. Louis. Here's Shafer trying to keep it up. 10 pin.
It's just like flicking a booger. Just clack, clack, clack.
Just misses one just a little bit off his hand, and he's going to get into that plaque zone. That plaque tendency, that ball just kind of laboring in the back end. You got to make sure you catch all of it.
Going to respot the 10 pin.
Over there.
Yeah. He's saying, please get the other one out of the way.
Ryan Shafer's got one of the best sarcastic sense of humor you'll ever hear in your entire life. He's a funny guy. Superstitions. If the ball doesn't have a 5 or an 8 serial number, he won't use it. He's got this real wardrobe issue.
Takes the 10 pin. What kind of shirt is he wearing today? Looks like an X Factor shirt, right?
He told Nick Hoagland, our assistant tournament director, the reason why he's wearing that shirt is because I won with it at Pepsi Open a couple weeks ago.
Same shirt, different name.
Same shirt, different name on the back, yes. Probably a little bit different size.
Looking for a 6-bagger. What a start, Jason Couch. Championship match, 33-pin lead on the line. No. 6 of the 9.
Not a bad shot, not a great one. Somewhere in the middle, the ball comes in just a little bit light. Looked like it was just a pinch firm, which is Jason Couch's MO. He gets pumped up, he gets fired up. Only this time, instead of leaving ugly splits and designs, he leaves himself with the 6-9 spare. Move to the far right side of the approach. Just a little bit of hook into this.
Yes. For the mark, 6th frame. He knew it. Speaking of shirts, Jason needed to wash his wardrobe as well. He was out of clean duds. Asked Mary Von Kruger, Kirk, our tournament director's wife, if they could go into the motorhome and get that done.
And remember what he said, it didn't matter what it cost.
Exactly.
And I was trying to work with Mary a little bit to see if maybe we could get a Hyundai out of Jason, but
he might be able to afford a couple of those cars if he can win this championship. $100,000 on the line to the winner today. Yes. Pocket. Pure pocket.
Excuse me, Dave. Beautiful shot.
Like that. Oh, like that.
Really kept his mental composure. You know, when it comes down to this, and at this level, and these type of lane conditions, it's the guy who keeps it together mentally, because it's the mental, it's the mind that allows the body to work and perform properly at this level. You have to keep your wits about you.
Down 21. 7th frame. Shafer.
Give me some love. Give me some love.
Wanted the 10 badly.
Ryan Shafer coming in just a pinch light again, leaving the soft 10. Right now, Jason Couch in the driver's seat. Ryan Shafer going at a 2:16 pace if he converts the spare. Jason Couch going at a 2:38 pace. Look out.
Missed it. He missed the mark.
You know, we talked about this watching the matches last night in the round of 16 and round of 8 and how many single pin spares guys are missing. And the only thing I could come up with was it was such a grind just to get the ball to the 1-3 pocket that when you did hit the pocket and you got tapped like this, it was a mental lapse or a lapse of concentration. The guys were just missing spares that normally would not miss.
Devastating open frame for Shafer this late in the match. The way things are going for Couch with his great start, striking in 7 of the first 8 frames. Driver's seat would be an understatement. Big strike there for Shafer.
Don't let that bother you.
Well, you can see how hard it is to win the Tournament of Champions. The great Mark Roth and Walter Ray Williams Jr. 22 out of 41 Hall of Famers have never won this tournament. I finished 3rd in the TFC once. Lost to the eventual champ Norm Duke.
I told you about Mike Durbin's great success in the event. 3-time champion. Couch trying to do the same thing. The 3 in a row, which has never been done.
One more.
Boy,
One more.
Boy, was that big there. That's hammer time there. He throws a strike on the right lane.
You're killing me.
What a great shot. This ball just buried in the 1-2. He knows it. He knows what he needs. One more. Don't hoop it up too much. Keep your wits about you. He knows that a strike right here will all but lock up his 3rd Tournament of Champions in a row and $100,000.
Foundation 9th frame. Looks for a triple and a 53-pin lead. Another major in his future. Yeah! You better believe it.
Yeah!
What a perfect shot. He has all but won this tournament. All he has to do is keep it on the lane in the 10th frame. And you think he knows the score? Bowling history, 3 Tournament of Champions victories in a row for Jason Couch. Ryan Shafer can strike out to shoot 235, Dave Ryan. Jason Couch can open the 10th frame with any kind of decent count and be in the 240s.
The quest for a major will fall again 1 step shy for Ryan Shafer in a rematch of the 2000 TOC Championship match. Come up short again, it appears. Down goes the 7 this time.
And what a great tournament for Ryan Shafer, you know, and he's disappointed not to win, but when he missed that single pin spare, the 10 pin in the 7th frame.
Jason, you're a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say after that, Dave Ryan. Help me out.
He meant it with affection.
that means I love you in bowling terminology, right?
But believe me, the competition is severe. These guys desperately want to win. Real passion for victory. Wow.
I had to leave one today.
Great shot. Needs a 7. And Jason Couch has wrapped it up. He is the TOC champion here in 2002 for a 3rd straight time. It's never been done before in PBA history. We make it today. In '99, he got by Chris Barnes by just 4 pins. And in 2000, by none other than Ryan Shafer. Event not held last year as the PBA reorganized with a new format. History in Connecticut today, Jason Couch.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Jason Couch.
The only thing that can make his day better, a win for his beloved Redskins against the Eagles. I think that would cap it off.
Yeah,
for the lefty.
That's really pushing it.
That's high, but it won't matter. Woo! Tournament of Champions will go to Jason Couch. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, Leslie Goodell.
Miller time!
Providing the interviews. Our entire crew from the Mohegan Sun. It is indeed Miller time for our TOC champion, Jason Couch. Yes! Jimmy V Celebrity Golf Classic from just outside Raleigh comes your way next. Tenth career PBA Tour title for Jason Couch. It's time for him to celebrate. He's just won $100,000 and another major title. Happy day for Jason Couch for the 4th time in his career. He's won a major. And joined now by our Leslie Goodell.
Well, he just said he's trying not to cry because there is no crying in bowling. But Jason, 3 straight TOCs, and you've now cemented your name in bowling history. Is this everything you thought it was going to be?
It's everything and more to win this tournament for my 10th title and my 3rd TSC. It's just an enormous feeling to join the likes of Carmen Salvino, Mark Roth, all the greats in the Hall of Fame, and I just can't believe it happened. I'd like to thank Ebonite, Miller High Life, one of my sponsors. Thank you very much, and thank you, Kurt Pelon, who drilled that bowling ball to win me $100,000 today. Thank you.
At what point in this match today did you know that this was yours?
You don't ever know it's yours. You keep looking at the scoreboard going, all right, okay, I can get 7 now, I can get 8 now, and Ryan bowled a great game. He just caught a couple of bad breaks when he needed to carry, and he's a phenomenal winner, and he'll be in the winner's circle in the TSC very soon.
$100,000 goes to Jason Couch. Dave?
Leslie, thanks. Kurt Pelon, the roommate this week of Jason Couch. Boy, did that pay off. Congratulations to Jason as he wins today. Be sure to join us when we return January 5th, 12:30 Eastern Time. Live coverage of the PBA Earl Anthony Classic from Tacoma. Now stay tuned. Jimmy V Celebrity Golf Classic is next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Now for the entire crew, Leslie Goodell and my partner, Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Connecticut. Couch a winner.